It is my honor to join you today for the AJC's annual Global Forum. As you all gather to talk about developments in the region, I want to walk you through President Biden and Secretary Blinken's thinking on these issues. As you know, after the ceasefire was secured with strong support from President Biden, he asked the Secretary to travel to the Middle East, and I accompanied him on that trip. During the trip, Secretary Blinken focused on 4 areas. First, the trip was designed to demonstrate the United States' unwavering commitment to Israel's security. Second, we started work towards greater stability and the reduction of tensions in both the West Bank and Jerusalem. Third, we were focused on supporting the urgent humanitarian and reconstruction assistance requirements in Gaza. And fourth, we were focused on continuing to rebuild our relationships with the Palestinian people and the Palestinian Authority. As Secretary Blinken noted publicly during his trip, in order to prevent a return to violence, it is absolutely essential that we use the space created by the ceasefire to address the larger set of underlying issues and challenges. So we have been hard at work moving forward on these 4 areas, which will help both Israel and, we hope, the Palestinian people to build back better. First, for Israel, our closest partner in the region, this means we will stand firm in our commitment to her security, including through security assistance, especially replenishing the Iron Dome, and conversations have already begun between our governments on that issue. It also means strengthening all aspects of the U.S.-Israel partnership and opposing any efforts to isolate or delegitimize Israel in the United Nations or elsewhere. We will also continue to urge other countries to normalize their relations with Israel, and we will look for opportunities to expand cooperation among countries in the region. Secretary Blinken also took the opportunity of the trip to discuss with Israeli leaders our concerns about the intercommunal violence that erupted in Israel during the conflict. This remains a key issue to resolve and will take leadership at every level of society. Any lasting peace will also require tackling the very serious humanitarian situation in Gaza and starting to rebuild there, at the same time that we've got to do a better job of ensuring that Hamas does not benefit from any international reconstruction assistance. So we've been working intensively with Israel, with the Palestinians, with the UN, and with regional partners on new mechanisms to deliver support to the people who need it the most, while continuing to isolate Hamas, and the U.S. will be making a contribution of its own in this regard. We will be providing $5.5 million in immediate disaster assistance to Gaza and a little over $32 million to UNRWA's emergency humanitarian appeal. The United States is also taking steps, and we began on this trip, to re-engage with the Palestinian Authority. These must include expanding opportunities for Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, increasing private sector and trade and investment opportunities as well. To this end, we will also reopen our consulate in Jerusalem to allow us to better engage and to provide support to the Palestinian people. The Biden administration is also notifying Congress of our intent to provide an additional $75 million in development and economic assistance for the Palestinians in 2021, and we're consulting closely with the Israeli government on these issues as well. President Biden and Secretary Blinken have both stressed in public that the Palestinians and the Israelis each deserve to live safely and securely, and to enjoy equal measures of freedom, opportunity, and democracy, and to be treated with dignity. In the longer term, a 2-state solution remains the very best way to ensure Israel's future as a democratic and Jewish state, while also enabling the Palestinians to live in security and democracy in a viable state of their own. Another critical issue of importance to the Biden administration that came up on the trip is the fight against anti-Semitism. It is deeply concerning to all of us to see anti-Semitism on the rise in the United States and around the world over the last several years. As President Biden said, each of us must remain vigilant and speak out against the resurgent tide of anti-Semitism and other forms of bigotry and intolerance here at home and around the world. And we must confront these hate crimes and the dangerous lies that undergird them. As you know, the Biden administration has embraced the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism, including its examples, as have previous administrations. Much work remains to be done, but with the support of organizations like the AJC, we can work towards a world that is filled less with hate and more with stability and peace. Thank you for the outstanding work you each do in support of the AJC and for the vital partnership that we have with each other. I wish you a successful forum at this crucial time.